All right. And recording in progress. So let's get started. Oh, that's why my volume was way up. Okay, so let's get started. And we just need some blocks. I'm going to start sitting in Sukhasana. All right. Oop, there we go. All right, so making your way to your mat. On down. And using those arms alongside, lengthening up, getting some space between the vertebrae, space in the hip sockets. Maybe a little squinging and shifting. And releasing with the arms, letting the hands rest on the knees. Inhale and exhale, pouring down the sides of the neck off the tops of the shoulders. Lengthen up through the center line, lots of space for your breath. Taking a few moments, just feeling your breath. You can soften the eyes or maybe close them. Turning your gaze inward. And let's reach out wide through the collarbones, through the fingertips. Inhale and exhale, breathing the arms up. Inhale and exhale, breathing them down. Let's do that twice more. We're feeling into your body at this moment. And then coming up once more, bringing the hands together, drawing down the center line. So a little strength here, pressing the hands together, pulling the elbows a little wide. And then drawing the thumbs into the sternum, softening shoulders and elbows, a little feeling of down back. And closing the eyes. Once more, really turning your gaze inward. And we'll take one together if you would like to join me in starting with a deep and easeful inhale. And let the head bow forward. Release the hands, putting the backs of the hands on the knees. And then lifting all the way from the base of the spine to lift the chest, to lift the chin, to lift the eyelids. And open the eyes. Just taking another moment with your gaze at least mostly turned inward. And we will change the cross of the legs. Coming forward and over, breathing into the back of the body. And walking the hands over to the right diagonal. And left hand on the right knee or maybe on the floor if that works better as we twist open to the right, turning inside out. And a big reach around with that right arm through the center all the way over to the left diagonal. And right hand on the knee or the floor or wherever works for you as we twist open to the left. And back to the center. And coming up, unfurling the spine vertebrae by vertebrae back up on top of the sitting bones. Inhale and exhale. And then we will come up in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Taking your time. Being here with your body as it is at this moment, this morning. Oh, I forgot to say, but probably we're doing it, walking the dog or anything else you want to do here. And then being in the best downward facing dog of this moment, nothing moving but the breath. And let's lengthen forward to the length, long and flat against the ceiling. Pulling up of the abdominal muscles. Wide across the upper back and upper chest. And then setting the knees down on all fours and doing a few cats and cows. Keeping that breath moving. And then we will Namaste, knees, chest, chin to the small cobra. You could always sit back and come into Sphinx to the small cobra. All right, meanwhile, hinging back, big arch in the back, little bend in the elbows, pull the upper chest forward and then down, maybe pausing and lifting the hips a little bit more, and sliding out to the small cobra. And lengthening down, reaching through the top of the head, reaching through the toes. 3 small cobras up and down. Really working the upper back as we lengthen up and lengthening down. And once more. And then reaching the arms out wide to the side. Take a moment, try to scooch those fingertips out a little wider. Make sure the shoulders didn't squinch by the ears. Rolling the shoulders a little back and down, so that even as we're reaching wide, we're grounding the shoulder blades into the upper back, and then lengthen and lift and flying. The wider and longer we get, the stronger we hold into the center. And coming down. And we will make our way back up to downward facing dog. And move a few ripples along the way. And downward facing dog. And really pressing back with the legs. And we'll walk our hands back to our feet. Into the forward bend at the back of the mat. Using a little bend in the knees as needed here. Maybe bend and extend. And let's take a concave back halfway up. And reaching out and pouring over. And doing that again. Concave back. And pouring over. One more concave back. And then we'll let this one bring us all the way up to standing. Into the front body yawn. And arms down long through the top of the head. And we'll circle the shoulders up the front, down the back. And 3, 2, 1. And then going the other direction, back to the front. And 3, 2, and 1. One more front to the back and interlocking the fingers behind. Give the upper arms a little squeeze, soften the shoulders, lengthening up the front of the body to lift the chest, to lift the chin. And coming forward and over. Pressing out through the backs of the hands. Keeping those fingers interlocked, let's go into the spear, bending the knees like Utkatasana and arching up like that concave back. And now our arms are reaching mostly straight back as we pull the upper chest forward. hips are pulling back as well, so we have a little bit more pull back than forward. And tipping forward into the forward bend again, straightening the legs, releasing the hands. Deep breath. And then walking back out to downward facing dog. And going through the vinyasa, any version. And then here we are, downward facing dog. And let's lift the right leg up, reaching long through the heel, reaching down through the left heel. And bending the right knee, dog at the high fire hydrant. Through to the lunge. And we'll bring the left knee down and then Jayasana, the kneeling lunge. And then twisting to the right arms parallel to the floor. And then hook the left arm over and bring the right hand around to Namaste. Namaste in the center. And then we'll go to either Matsyendrasana as we move our right foot and pull the left knee under, or maybe taking it down to Gomukhasana, pulling that right knee down and the right foot across. So whatever is working for your hips and knees at the moment, and especially if you're in the Gomukhasana with the leg coming down, feel that squeeze into the center, a little active drawing the legs into each other. And let's see, we're going to twist to the left, to the open side. Inhale and exhale. And then reaching the arms out wide, parallel to the floor. And let's do the half namaste here, bringing the right hand into the center of the chest, thumb along the center of the breastbone there, and feeling like you're pressing out through that right palm to help deepen into the chest. And just swoop that left hand around, coming back to the center, namaste. And disentangling the legs, coming up onto our feet into the forward bend. And concave back halfway up, folding over, and jumping or stepping back, vinyasa or not, downward facing dog. And we'll go around on the left, lifting the left leg up. Bending the knee, dog at the high fire height. Through to the lunge. And bringing that right knee down and Jayasana. We'll twist to the left, arms parallel to the And then hooking the right arm over, pull a little wider, hands to Namaste. And Namaste in the center. And then walking the left foot a little across, bringing the right knee under, either in Matsyendrasana with the left foot on the floor and the knee up, or bringing that leg down and around more into Gomukhasana, the cow face. And of course, Sukhasana, the crossed legs, will always work here as well. All right, and here we are. So we're going to twist to the right, the open side. Inhale, lots of space. Exhale and twist. And then reaching those arms out wide, parallel to the floor. We'll bend the left arm and into the center of the sternum there, along the edge of the thumb, pressing out through the front of the right shoulder. And then bringing the right hand back around to Namaste in the center. Disentangling the legs. Coming up onto your feet into the forward bends. Concave back halfway up. This time we'll be coming all the way up to standing, but pouring over into the forward bend again for another breath. And all the way up to standing, big front body yawn. And around to Namaste in front. And we'll go to Utkatasana, the chair pose. So let's take our ripply road there. Big lift up into the front body yawn. And then letting the knees bend so your butt kind of sticks out, a little like Asta Namaskar. Reaching around with the arms come a little under and scoop the tailbone a little under, and then flattening out into Utkatasana. We feel that strong center pulling in the lower abdomen, drawing the inner thighs toward each other, drawing those outer thighs toward each other. And releasing over. Concave back, folding over, jumping or stepping back, vinyasa, downward facing dog. And let's lift the right leg up. Bending the knee dog at the high fire hydrant. And through to the lunge. And turning to the elephant body. And then keeping the knees bent, let's come up in the goddess pose with the bent elbows, the cactus arms. Dropping that tailbone as much as you can, pressing the knees out, being as vertical as you can be. So for some of us, depending on the hip joint flexibility, our butt kind of sticks a little out the back, but we're trying to minimize that as much into the center line as you can. And then straighten up, arms to parallel and feet to parallel. Deep breath. Rotating the right leg out 90 degrees. And we'll keep that right leg straight, reaching all the way up to the ceiling through the right arm. Pause a moment, just reaching straight up. And then a little curve over toward the left. Hinging out into the triangle, Trikonasana. Getting that right rib cage to line, the side of the right rib cage lined up over the right thigh. And if you feel it up, your body's ready for it, taking that left hand up into the half, right hand up into the half Namaste. And then we'll bring it back down. Big reach around coming down to the lunge. Coming up in the standing split, or maybe it's more like a supported warrior 3. And then we're going to jiva squat to dance up our body. So bending the right knee, squeezing the left behind. I'm just going to pivot a quarter turn so I'm facing you. You don't need to pivot a quarter turn. And then we bring the ball of the left foot down onto the floor, letting the kickstand, coming up with the hands in Namaste. So we're doing Gomukhasana and the chair pose and a curtsy squat all at the same time. And then we will twist to the right, wide arms, and then bending the left into the half Namaste. And squeezing yourself up to standing to Tadasana. Inhale and exhale. Samasthiti, steadiness. And then coming over, big lift up. Guiding over. Concave back, folding over. Let's step back with the left leg, and then we'll step into the side plank on the left. Stepping back with the right leg, it can go on the floor in front of the left, or maybe stacked into the side plank, reaching wide. And then we'll take the left hand up to the half Namaste. Not really. And coming to the center, let's go on to the right side plank. Where once again, we will not actually take our right arm up into the half Namaste. And to the plank, holding that plank a few breaths if you can. We're going to be going to child's pose, you'll be glad to know. And then setting the knees down, nice long pull back into child's pose. And coming forward onto our stomach, into the Sphinx. And reaching and widening just a little more. And calming down. And let's see, what are we doing here? All right, I remember. Let's walk the arms straight out in front. Reaching back through the toes. Stretching long and flat against the floor. And then we'll lengthen and lift here with the arms straight in front. And then bringing the arms out wide to the side. Making the hands into a gentle fist, circle the wrists. 3, 2, 1. Pause a moment, feel the shape again. Circling the other way, 3. So if you're on the floor already, that's fine. 1. Pause and extend, unfurl your fingers. Calming down. And then coming back up to downward facing dog. If you want to go through a vinyasa here, going through another vinyasa. I'm going to do the or not myself. And then here we are, downward facing dog. And let's lift the left leg up. And in the knee dog at the high fire hydrants. Through to the lunge and turning to the elephant All right, and then from here into the goddess pose, staying with the bent knees, press the outer knees away, tailbone and sitting bones go down as we come up with the cactus arms. And then thinking flattening to one plane, but of course most of us, our hip joints are not going to let us be even close to that, but that's still the intention. Pressing the front of the body back, pressing that tailbone forward. And then straighten the legs, straighten out the arms, turning the feet to parallel. And let's rotate the left leg out 90 degrees. And then reaching all the way up the left side, pausing a few breaths, reaching up to the ceiling. And then turning the palm to face the back of the room, continuing into however much side bend there still is over to the right. And into the triangle. Try not to let that left rib cage twist forward, but lining it right up over that left thigh. And then maybe taking that left hand up into the half Namaste. And bring the left hand down, coming down and around to the lunge, and then up into the standing split. Rolling up through the left leg, right out the right toes. Jiva squat, squeezing the right thigh and knee behind the left. Doing the pivot again. And then putting the ball of that right foot down on the floor like a kickstand. Coming up with the hands in Namaste. Pausing here a moment. Squeezing into the center. And then we will twist to the left. Remember, I'm not the mirror at the moment. And bending the right arm, hands in a half Namaste. Dance of Parvat. And a big inhale and exhale. Coming up to standing Tadasana. Samasthiti steadiness. And then release the hands. Big front body one. And coming over. We will step back with the right leg. And going into the side plank on the right. Stepping back with the left leg. Stacking the foot or putting it on the floor in front of the right. Breathing here. Having an imaginary arm come to the half Namaste, imaginary right arm. Giving you a little bit more press up and support. And then to the center. And on to the left side. So sometimes just thinking about doing an action that you can't actually do, which is pick up that left hand into the half Namaste, can help the pose. Add a little more strength, a little more awareness. And to the plank, holding that plank. Coming down, sitting back in child's pose. Coming up and sitting in simplified Virasana at the back of the mat. Or maybe in full Virasana if you want. Just sitting between the heels. You could sit on the block there. Or something else if your knees are not up for this. Really feeling the shins, the front of the shins through the tops of the foot going back. Thighs pouring down off the knees, lifting through the top of the head. And then let's reach the arms wide to the side, breathing them up parallel to the for a little gentle fist, circling those wrists. 3, 2, 1. Up. Pause, get a little wider, a little taller, and then circling the other way. 3, 2, 1. Unfurling the fingers, and we're going to come up onto our knees. If you can just come up right from here, doing that. If you want to rearrange something or use the hands to help, doing that. And here we are with the arms up overhead, Hastasana. And we'll go into Ustrasana. There we go. The camel pose. Coming back, hands either to the sacrum or maybe to the heels, lifting up and over. And then coming back up, descending back into Virasana. Deep breath. And let's come back up in downward facing dog. If you'd like to go through a vinyasa, go ahead and doing that. Or just breathing here in your downward facing dog. And let's lift the right leg up. And through to the lunge. And coming up in either the warrior one or the high lunge. So we'll make the warrior one the default here, but you could use the high lunge if you would rather. And then bringing the arms around to interlock the fingers behind, lifting up the whole front of the body, a little scoop forward and down from the tail. And releasing the hands back up overhead, and then a little going up and over into the warrior two. Dancing warrior. And we're going up to Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon, though you could use the triangle again. Maybe a block under the right hand. And here too, it is possible to pick that right arm up into the half namaste. But if you can't do that, just thinking about that imaginary arm coming up to the sternum, palm of the hand pressing up through the left side up to the seat. And then we'll turn into the standing split again for a couple breaths. Jiva squat to dance of Parvati. Bringing the ball of the left foot down, coming into Namaste center a moment, twisting to the right, bending the left arm into the half Namaste. Coming up to standing, inhale and exhale. Samasthiti steadiness. And big front body yawn. Over. Concave back, folding over. Vinyasa, downward facing dog. And then last time around on the left, lifting the left leg up. And through to the lunge. Warrior number one. And then bringing those arms around behind to the interlocked fingers. Lengthening up the front of the body. We'll scoop down and under from the pelvis. And releasing the arms back up overhead. And up and over into the warrior two. Dancing warrior, bringing the left arm up and away in the side bend. And coming up in Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon, or maybe using the triangle. And then thinking about, or perhaps doing, the left arm up into the half namaste. Feeling that extra press up to the right toward the ceiling, even if it's your imaginary left arm. And then turning to face the left leg into the standing split. And we'll jiva squat to dance par body, bending the left leg, squeeze the right behind, ball of the right foot on the floor, coming into the namaste center for a moment, getting balanced and steady, twisting to the left, and bending the right arm into the half namaste. And breathing up to standing. Inhale and exhale. Namaste, steady. And release the hands. Couple more breaths here with those two long parallel sides. Maybe give the hands a little gentle shake and relax the fingers. Inhale and exhale, pouring down the sides of the neck, all the way down through the arms into the and then we will just unceremoniously come down to the floor, all the way down to the. And let's see, let's get our block. And we'll do the supported bridge pose. Block underneath the legs, or you could do the regular bridge pose or another back bend if you would rather. And lifting up, block under the sacrum, sliding the legs out to straight. And working with the balance of effort and ease that you want at this moment. Big inhale, nice long exhale. Surrendering the weight of the body to gravity, even though you might be putting some energy through to extend things, you don't need to hold anything up. Couple more breaths here. And bending the knees, lifting up off the block, rolling down. And then we'll figure four or something similar. If you'd rather drop the knees to the side, or maybe do the Gomukhasana crossed all the way over thigh to thigh version. Anyway, here we are, something that releases the lower back, puts a little stretch through the outer hips and gluteus maximus. And then switching legs, crossing the left leg over. Inhale and exhale. Letting yourself start to move towards Shavasana. Breathing gets a little longer and deeper. Whatever parts of the body can really relax, start to do that. And finishing up with whatever you're doing to make your way to Shavasana. Sliding the legs out to straight. Backs of the hands on the floor, palms to the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Every breath, letting the weight of the body settle a little more fully into the earth. Letting the weight of your mind settle a little more comfortably into the wave of breath. And then breathing back into your body. Moving the fingers and toes, maybe circling the wrists and ankles. Stretching your arms up overhead. And bending the knees. To gently make your way up to sitting. And sitting in any comfortable position with a long and spacious spine. Taking a few more moments, sitting quietly inside yourself. And namaste. Thank you for coming.